We go to the bottom of the 8th inning over at Beaudry Park. The Cortland Crush on top, 11-7. A couple defensive switches for the Silversmiths. In the game in right field, Justin Stromsky. And now in the ball game as the first baseman is Mitch Kavanaugh. The first pitch was a curveball. The count 0-1 to Ethan Moore. Tyler Hertzwig back on the mound. The next pitch swung on and missed in the count 0-2. Ethan Moore has had himself quite the day at the plate. A sacrifice fly in the first, he walked in the third, 2-run homer in the 5th, and a double that kicked off the 6-run rally in the bottom of the 7th. Continuing a 5-game hit streak. Next pitch grounded off the end of the bat. A 2-hopper to the second baseman, Allen. He flips to first, throw in time for out number 1.
From Salve Regina, the right fielder, Dylan Ketch.
Brings up the right fielder in Dylan Ketch. Ketch still in search of his first base hit of the game. He walked and scored back in the 7th. He actually scored the go-ahead run on a double steal. Good decoy play by David White to allow Dylan Ketch to score that game, the go-ahead run. At the point right now, this could be the game difference maker, that Dylan Ketch run. First pitch he sees, a fastball lower outside corner, strike 1. But the thing I loved about that double steal was Dylan Ketch's emotion after the play. Stepped on the plate. He just raised his arms up in the air and let loose a giant bellow, like an earthly bellow. You can hear it all the way down in the parking lot, apparently. The 0-1 floater out to center field. That ball gets down and off the glove of the center fielder, Kingsley Bilal, falls in for a base hit. And Dylan Ketch continues his offensive galore. He gets on first with 1 out and sets things up for Charles Edwards. That was a tough play to make out in center field by Kingsley Bilal, trying to make the dive. He almost had it, but the ball, he kind of like rolled over it, almost like a fire drill sort of thing, stop, drop, and roll. But that ball just kind of got out of his reach and now catches at first. Brings up Charles Edwards. First pitch, fastball lower inside corner for strike 1. On the day, Edwards has gone 1 for 3. He walked in the first, singled in the 5th, flew out, to right in the 3rd, and he grounded out to short back in the 7th. 0-1. Pop-up right over the right side of the field. Second baseman Allen gives chase, ranges to his left, and makes the catch for out number 2.
Looks like it got
from Benedict College, the first baseman, David
bat,
White.
So it didn't get as much power as before, but the shot before by it was Dylan Ketch's first base hit of the day. That was it, right in that sweet spot I like to call it, right between the outfielder and the infielder, so it's kind of a no man's land.
First pitch fastball right at the knees on the lower inside corner, called strike 1 to David White. Dave on the day has gone 2 for 3. He had an RBI double in the 3rd, he singled in the 5th, and he walked and scored back in the 7th. The 0-1. White, a ground ball on 3 hops, backpedaling the shortstop Coro, gains his footing, throws to first. It's a long throw, and it gets away from the first baseman Kavanaugh. Catch goes over to 3rd, and they're trying to check on the plate. Tyler Hertzwig has to sprint to the home plate, but no advance from his Salve Regina teammate in Dylan Ketch. And that gets runners on the corners and 2 outs, courtesy of a base hit by David White.
Yes, single and an error. Thank you.
It was a single and a throwing error by Jake Coro, but still the 3rd hit of the game for David White and allowed him to stay at first, and Dylan Ketch moved over on the error by Coro. That is the 3rd error of the ball game for the Sherrill Silversmiths. A lot of defensive blunders today for both sides. First pitch low and outside for ball 1 to TJ Wegman. Now TJ trying to become the only other batter on the Crush without a base hit today. The other goes to that slot, which Anthony May, Alex Flock, and Josh Reuter have combined to go 0 for 3. Next pitch, fastball low and outside. The count runs to 2-0. Wegman on the day. He reached on an error by the first baseman Sanford at first. He struck out swinging. He was out on a batter's interference, and he also popped out to the second baseman Tully Allen in that 6-run inning. Next pitch, fastball lower inside corner, called strike 1. A little bit of a tight call on that lower corner, but the count now 2-1. Wegman had to back out of the box for a second, try to gather his bearings. The 2-1 from Hertzwig. Fastball lower outside corner this time, and the count runs to 2-2. Running out to the bullpen for the Crush, Jake Kinney. Question is, will we see him tonight? Because I've been hearing a little bit around the grapevine that he might be starting tomorrow's game. Would be his first start of the summer. 2-2. Line drive falls in the right field for a base hit. From third comes catch. David White barrels around second, heads to third. Stands in safely. That is a double for TJ Wegman. And the Cortland Crush continue to pile on the runs. It's now 12-7 in the bottom of the eighth.
Nothing too fancy there, but effective from TJ Wegman as that one just settled right on the foul line, but did not go foul. Good two-run shot, and as you said, he hasn't got a base hit. We've actually seen two players get their first base hit of the day, and they've made a big impact.
And that big impact, very important for the Crush, who have now scored 7 runs in the last 2 innings. Pitching change made by one of the assistants for the Sherrill Silversmiths. Tyler Hertzwig comes out, and a new pitcher comes in. We'll have more on that new pitcher when we return on the NYCBL Broadcast Network. New pitcher in the ballgame for the Sherrill Silversmiths. From American International College and Seekonk, Massachusetts, the right-handed pitcher in Kyle Simcock. He has made 4 prior appearances this summer, has a 7.71 ERA, and just 1 strikeout in 4 2/3 innings. That lone strikeout came against the Cortland Crush, and he's walked 3 batters. It's an interesting question to see who that mystery batter was. We're going to have to go way back into the archives to figure out who he did strike out. I'm kind of intrigued. Simcock came in and he struck out. It appears to be Dylan Ketch. So that was his lone strikeout of the summer. Last time we saw Kyle Simcock was back on July 7th. Just went an inning and walked a batter. No decision as the Ridgemen fell to the Silversmiths 4-3 over at NYCBL Park. But the Silversmiths only 1-3 when Simcock comes into a game. Not a good statistic to have. As runners on second and third and 2 outs, that brings up Josh Reuter. First pitch high and inside. Almost gets a piece of Reuter, but the count 1-0. From Kalamazoo College, Josh on the day walked and scored. He was up to bat when Dylan Ketch came across the plate to score. It's the Cortland Crush up 12-7 in the bottom of the 8th inning. David White at third, over at second, TJ Wegman. Next pitch ball on the lower part of the plate, and the count 2-0. Next up for the Cortland Crush, weather pending, is a ball game against the Rome Generals. That game set to begin at 5 o'clock, tentatively scheduled for Wallace Field, depending if the fungus situation clears out. It all depends on the fungus. The 2-0. A popper right over the head of the second baseman, Tully Allen, falls in the right center field for a base hit. White scores around from third, Wegman, and the Cortland Crush takes a 14-7 lead on a 2-run single by Josh Reuter.
From Salem International, the left
Just like
fielder.
a shot from Wegman, nothing too fancy. Actually landed in that place, no man's land. Actually, it was a little bit right of where Dylan Ketch went. But that was a good shot by Josh Reuter there, the replacement for actually 2 batters, Anthony May and Alex Block.
First pitch changeup swung on and missed by Tyler Alt, who came into the game as a defensive replacement for Joey Asenza. Tyler Alt trying to play a little bit more of the outfield recently. He came into the ball game for Joey Asenza in the 6th, and on the summer he has gone with a .288 average. Next pitch pop up over the right side of the field. Looking up, Tully Allen, he backpedals and makes the grab on the outfield grass for out number 3. The Cortland Crush score 3 more times in the bottom of the 8th, courtesy of an RBI double by TJ Wegman and a 2-run single by Josh Reuter. We go to the top of the 9th. The Cortland Crush currently ahead 14-7. We'll be back with more on the NYCBL Broadcast Network.